right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the A-Gap podcast.
What's happening?
What's happening, Matt?
Something look a little different here. I think it's we both got haircuts.
We both got haircuts. That's the
Yep.
most important difference between normal podcasts and now. We're looking fly.
Yep, very handsome.
Very
I gotta
handsome.
say,
Some handsome dudes. So let's address one thing. Obviously, we do have a couple of guys out on assignment, busy guys are out there. They're getting shit done for the crew, and we'll see them when they come in next time. We got all their picks. Don't you worry. We will hear who they think is going to win this week. Pretty excited, Matt. How you feeling? How's week 2 sitting on you?
feeling good. I'm ready to watch Taylor Heineke. I just saw him warming up on the sideline. He looks focused, baby.
Focused, dude. Is it?
I mean, he's got a playoff game under his belt.
Yeah, dude. He almost beat Tom Brady. Who can say that?
He almost did.
Nick Foles did beat him, but we'll move on from that.
Jesus.
Any chance I got.
Already starting with that.
Already
okay.
started. I'm sorry. We'll get to that stuff. Well, yeah, guys, this is our second Thursday stream. We're kind of shooting for always doing this every 4 p.m. on Thursdays, giving you kind of our preview of the week, give you our picks, kind of hopefully in the chat, kind of get us all hyped for this. Oh, there he is in the chat. Hype. I love it. Love it.
One of our own. Miss you, buddy.
I miss you, buddy. We'll see him next time. But
We'll see you next Tuesday.
see you next Tuesday, With that, do you just want to kind of get into it, Matt? You got anything you want to tell the people? You want to share what's going on?
No, I think we should just get into it. I don't really have a deal since Tuesday, so
Exactly.
Looks like it's raining over in Washington D.C.
I know. It's kind of we're watching the weather reports here. There was a flash flood warning in Washington D.C. 4 hours ago, so we might be getting our first mud bowl of the season.
And if you're thinking along the lines that I was, as far as smashing the under, it's already set at 40.5, I think. So Vegas is ahead of you, but I still did it. Put 25 on it, baby.
There we go.
Looking for a mud bowl.
See how much money Matt will throw out on this show. Could be a good
I'm stocked up. I'm ready to play some really dumb bets. Let's go.
Let's go. Get in the chat, guys. Like I said, get him excited, and he'll probably smash that bet. Absolutely.
That's right.
So
this might be another mud bowl, though.
I know.
Remember that 49er game where after they all slid on their bellies?
Mm-hmm.
Looking for somebody to do that tonight.
I hope, man. I
want to see Chase Young do it.
I know. I want to get into that first, but we were kind of saving that for the end as we get closer. So we'll pause our Mud Bowl takes, but that will come up soon. But let's start it out. We're going to go in reverse order. Monday Night Football, NFC North battle. We're starting with some Lions-Packers, baby. What do we got? So the current line is Packers minus 11, you said?
That's right, yeah.
That's pretty gnar, but I don't know. Lions got some fight. What do you think, Matt?
Well, Vegas, I don't think they're very impressed by the weird comeback that they had against the 49ers. And I guess they're not that scared by the Aaron Rodgers shit show that was last time. I mean, minus 11 is a tough spread to take, but I mean, who's got the Lions winning that game?
Nobody.
Seriously. Yeah. Did you see any of Pat McAfee's show where, Aaron Rodgers is a weekly guest on that?
I did not watch this week's interview with him. What do you have to say?
He came on. I thought he might be a little bit surly, but he was very chilled out. Seemed like he had just eaten an edible or something like that. He was just chilling, man. And he said that the funniest part was that he said on one of his picks, he took a double nut shot, and that's why he threw a pick. So
I love the insight that he gets the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, very cerebral. Yeah.
I bet that group of 8 dudes in the room, they were loving that, dude.
Oh my god, yeah. They're nut shot. The thing I'm more interested in this game is the over/under. Do you think that it's at 48.5 right now? Do you think the Packers? I mean, they're going to score a touchdown, I'd imagine.
Hopefully.
But what are you thinking about that?
I think it could be. I actually think the Lions might actually get some stuff done here. They are a pass-happy offense. We saw Jameis Winston throw 5 touchdowns last week. I could see that happening. I think Jared Goff is not a terrible quarterback, and the Niners defense is pretty good, and they did make some plays late in that game, regardless of what happened or how it got there, So I love all the running backs for the Lions this week. I think it could get very exciting from a points perspective. So I'd hammer the over.
I'll smash the over too. Yeah, and the Lions ran all day up the Niners' gut. Not even in garbage time. Like they were just freely running up the middle the whole game. Jamal Williams, especially.
Yep.
Some big holes. So
it's kind of their thing, you know. They got DeAndre Swift, man. I got a couple shares in him, and I think he's gonna have a really big year. And
yeah,
Jamal Williams might be a great little tandem there. That might be better.
I think so.
The two best offensive players potentially, you know.
How many tuds for Rodgers?
I think 3.
I got 3 too. I think
3.
That's good. Yeah.
I don't, and I could see more. You know, the Lions are supposed to be pathetic, so if all things kind of come to as they should be, then yeah, I could see him doing more than that for sure.
Rodgers also made some sort of joke about Dan Campbell biting knees, so he's not living that one down. Yeah.
Oh man, Dan Campbell is steaming through the years while he's drinking his espresso.
So just to be sure, you and me got the Packers right.
Yeah,
we're not going to get bold and take the Lions.
Fuck no,
okay.
No, dude. I think we all got Packers on this one. Cool. Then let's see here. Let's move on over to, I think this is the Tony Romo game for CBS this week. It's got to be Chiefs and Ravens.
Oh, Jim. I don't know, Jim.
Oh, we didn't even see that was open right there.
Oh, Jim.
I totally called it. Yeah, that's all Tony Romo stuff. But so what do you think? Ravens going to put up a fight here? Is it just Chiefs wallop them? Is this worse than the other 3 times that Lamar has lost to the Chiefs? What are you thinking?
Well, our counterparts that aren't here and can't defend themselves, John and Colby, have no faith in the Ravens.
No faith.
They're taking the Chiefs, and I think I will as well. And I think I'll also take the -3.5 spread. It's not very big.
Not very big. I don't know. I really want to say that the Ravens could come out and look a lot better, and it's just the Chiefs are too good. I think they're too good for this to be the game where the Ravens figure it all out, you know? Still trying to get that backfield in order. I'm a little meh. I'm going Chiefs as well.
Just a little meh.
Just a little meh on the Lamar train right now.
That was a little. I mean, Lamar looked a little erratic throwing the ball last week. So, like he couldn't get in. He just seemed like he could never get into a rhythm with his receivers or with Mark Andrews.
I didn't know that. I saw this because, of course, I follow all the Eagle shit. And it's like Jalen Hurts has more, I think it was 300-yard passing games and over 3 touchdown passes. He already has more than Lamar in 5 games. And so I just didn't realize that Lamar, I thought he had, what was the deal? Didn't he have a good season with passing and then he kind of reverted back?
Yeah. Well, he had an MVP season.
Exactly.
I mean, he was great. But, I mean, he's not super polished as a passer. I think it's a weird thing with Lamar Jackson where anytime that somebody says that he's not a great passer, people get fucking pissed and all up in arms, but he's not a super refined passer.
It's not his thing.
It
is though. You've got 2 teams that we always see in the playoffs, and they've had these pretty big matchups in the past. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was pretty close. And you know, like I think Lamar and that coaching staff are proud enough to pull off a game where they don't really see the Chiefs as that much better than them. You know.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a lot better game than we're all thinking. Vegas thinks it's going to be a close.
They can
game.
Run the shit out of the ball. It should be close. I think it's going to be one of those classic ones, though, because the Chiefs are so good at getting out in front early. Like first quarter Chiefs could score 100 a game if they just kept that pace. That makes it tough if they get down early. Like remember that in Lamar's MVP season when they got down like 2 scores early to Tennessee and they just could not run the ball to get back into it. That's going to be the key, I think. Yep.
Gonna have to rely on Lamar's arm.
Would like to see Mark Andrews show up. Got a few shares in him, so that would be great.
What was his stat line last week, Matt?
I don't know exactly.
I think it was 1 catch. Am I wrong?
It was underwhelming. Yeah,
it was underwhelming for the third drafted tight end. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I guess real quick, are you hammering the over or what do you deal? I got 54.5 on here.
54.5
seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot. I'm kind of one of those auto smash the over guys, but here I'll take the under.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah.
Just because the Ravens, I haven't seen any signs of them figuring themselves out offensively besides the run game.
Not yet.
All right, then we're moving on to Cowboys at Chargers. Line currently has Chargers -3.5 over under 55.5. What's your boy Herbert gonna do? I know you made some bold predictions about maybe an MVP caliber season.
Yeah, actually, you can go first on this one.
Okay. This one seems obviously, if you guys haven't heard the news, the Cowboys, their best defensive player, I think it's DeMarcus Lawrence, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
He has broken his foot at practice, and he will be out. First, I heard 3 to 5 weeks. Then I heard 6 to 8, and then some people are even saying out for season potentially. So
some people said he's actually dead.
Some people say he died in practice, and they're just covering it up. Jerry Jones is going to do some form of like a Frankenstein move. As long as lightning strikes AT&T Stadium, they will bring him back. But all that is unconfirmed.
Bohemian Grove cult magic thing that only billionaires can do.
Where's
my blood boy? Let's get this thing healed.
I got 3 just waiting in the back. Let's get him out here. Because as we all know, Jerry Jones is willing to do anything to win the Super Bowl.
He said it, he cried. Like, he meant it. Like, he cried knowing the horrible things that he was going to do to try to win a Super Bowl.
And think about the horrible things he's already done, and they didn't even work. He's done whatever it took.
Think about what he what he hasn't been caught doing. Remember the groping thing? That was weird.
No, enlighten me. I want to remember.
Okay.
I want to remember.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to get too much into it, but there was this unfortunate night where he was caught. Well, he let the girls take pictures. They're probably in their 30s or whatever. He's like groping him in a bathroom, just absolutely shit-faced. This is probably 10 years ago.
Some Robert Kraft energy too.
Fully married.
Yeah.
Fully married
of course,
guy. Yeah,
of course.
But he's a billionaire. What happens?
Yeah, I think once you're a billionaire, all the normal rules don't apply. That's my understanding. So
right.
Back to football. I just think I feel like the over 55.5 feels exactly right to me. It's going to be a lot of points because Cowboys didn't get any worse on offense. So I'm going to go with the Chargers, dude. I'm taking the Chargers. It's hard to go against the hard to root for the Cowboys, so I'm going Chargers here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like the over-under does seem pretty on point. I'll smash the over on that one because that Tampa-Dallas game was awesome. Awesome shootout. But I got Colby said Chargers win the shootout too. And I agree with that. I think Justin Herbert, like I said last week, he's going to win the MVP this year if the Chargers are a sweet team. Like, I could definitely
put that disclaimer on it. If the Chargers are good, he'll win MVP, and it's like,
well, if they're like a playoff team, which I think they'll be a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can't suck. He's not going to win the MVP if they're not a good team.
Obviously, if they're bad.
Yeah, but
I think it's a great test for the Chargers. I think it's going to be.
I thought he looked really good, just the way that he throws the ball, even against a tough defense in Washington.
And this is not a tough.
I got Herbie going for 400 in this one.
I could see that. No, I think the Cowboys defense was bad before they lost their best defensive player. So that
it's not a bold take because he's getting some major projections in fantasy this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like 21, 22.
Going big, going real big.
Taking Herbie, fully loaded.
Herbie fully loaded. Trying to catch the Herberts.
John's got the boys. I think John is right. He's riding the Cowboys jock a little bit this year.
I know. Did he pick the Cowboys to win the division?
He did.
He's a bad friend.
Yeah, arguably. It's funny though. I was thinking about this when I was making some of my predictions. Mm-hmm. You have to like align everything you do back to that prediction. So it's like I can't say the Cowboys are going to lose every time if I pick them to win the division.
Right. Got to stick to.
So I got to give him these games. Yeah.
For the record, John taking Cowboys. The rest of us all taking Chargers in that game.
And also for the record, John is a good friend.
He's a great friend. Great friend. I lied when I said that. That was a mean thing to say. I shouldn't say that. All right, we got Titans in Seattle. We got Seahawks -6 and over under set at 54. Why don't you start us off here, Matt? What are you thinking here?
This is one of those weird ones where I could see this being one of those overreactions to
There's
what
not many of these
last
games
week.
this week too. Like this is one that I think is kind of an interesting matchup.
Yeah. So the Titans got their ass kicked by the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Titans to cover at least. As far as who wins, I'll still take the Seahawks, but I don't mind that spread. I might take Titans +6 because I could see that game just as well going to overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. Them figuring it out. We know the Titans are a good team, so I don't think they're going to be as bad as they were in the first week. It was a real punch in the mouth. I'm going to go Titans to win, dude. Making the big, bold move there. I think they can pull it off. Also, it's like...
I hope so. I really do hope
right?
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're too proud. They're too proud of a franchise and a group to go in there and just get whomped again by another NFC West team,
Can Seattle's defense stop Derrick Henry?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know. It's in Seattle. That's always tough.
Yep, got your
But
12th man there.
the 12 straight stole that from Texas A&M, but whatever.
Whatever. Classic Seattle, dude. Stealing
Classic Seattle.
everything.
You know what? I'm taking the Titans.
You taking the Titans?
I'm getting worked up. Yeah, I'm taking the Titans.
All right, hell yeah. So just for the record, Colby is the only one taking the Seahawks now because
Put a sad face next to it, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean he didn't pick them.
Exactly. He's still not sticking to his guns here. All right. Moving on up here. Yeah, we're on schedule here. So we've got next Vikings in Arizona. Cardinals are only 3.5 favorites right now. Over under set at 50. I don't know. I think the over under seems a little low. Am I wrong there? Am I off base? I just feel
I agree. I think it's a little bit low.
a lot of
50 and a
offensive
half.
weapons for the Vikings. I think they can probably throw it as long as he doesn't get sacked the whole time.
Yeah.
That's the biggest.
I mean,
concern.
Chandler Jones had what? How many? Did he have 5 sacks?
5 sacks. Yeah.
5 sacks and 2 forced fumbles.
Yep.
Wow.
He will probably never have a game as good as that game, I think we're all going to see the Arizona defense as this fucking monster, but just a little bit of an overreaction, I would guess every offensive line is going to scheme against him now too because he's kind of made his presence known. But
on the other side, there's JJ.
JJ, dude.
What?
Yeah, who do you block when you got JJ Watt and Chandler Jones, Was that the missing piece for the Cardinals defense,
Maybe. Well, that's the thing. Like when he came over, they're like, yeah, I mean, it's JJ Watt, but it's not JJ Watt. It's an old version of him, but he's still, he's probably not a top 5 defensive lineman at this point, but still probably in the top 15.
Yep.
Still productive.
Yeah.
Still could get
smart.
10 sacks.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I could see it. 100%.
And rejuvenated. Like you imagine, who was it that said it was Randall Cobb when he got out of Houston? It was like getting out of prison, which is extreme, but I think he meant it.
Yeah.
And I think JJ Watt feels the same way probably.
Yeah, the Texans have been an awful franchise. I mean, they've had their playoffs, their playoff runs there, but also there was all the weird shit about the owner. Didn't the owner make the whole inmates run the prison comment too?
His dad, his now deceased dad did.
Oh.
But, they're pretty much the same guy. I'm not going to look into it, but I'm going to assume they're the same guy. People don't forget. People also don't change.
Yeah, people also don't change, especially their sons. All right,
Yeah,
Apple doesn't fall far,
Exactly. So yeah, that did happen. There was a defensive lineman for the Texans that said, "I don't care what happens, I'm with Deshaun. Deshaun's my boy," which is pretty bold. Like I was thinking about that. Like I wouldn't say that about any of my friends. Like no matter what Tom does. He's you fucking murdered 10 people. I don't think I'm like, no matter what, that's my guy. I know
seems a little extreme.
I know his true character,
Exactly. I mean, when somebody is having those kind of allegations too, it's just kind of a bold statement, like you don't really want to ride with the guy who's like a murderer or
at least not publicly. No,
at least not, yeah, you can say whatever you want outside of that, but
you can pull him aside and be like, hey man, like just know I'm with you, but I wouldn't publicly be like, I don't care what he did, which is exactly what the guy said.
He could do anything.
It could all be true, and that's my guy. All right, man.
Whatever you want, dude.
So I don't know how we got on the Texans there, but anyway, getting out of there to go to the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Cardinals because I'm seeing a lot of flashbacks of the divisional round when the 49ers just swarmed Kirk Cousins all day. Obviously, the Cardinals D-line is hot right now. Unfortunately, it's the NFC West, man.
I think they're on. This is the end of a run, I think, is what we're seeing, unfortunately.
I agree. Yeah, all their blue chip guys besides Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, obviously, but they're getting a little older. Danielle Hunter's getting a little older. Thielen, Cousins, everyone's just getting a little bit older. They're not quite the dominant team. They're gonna flash, but they're not the purple people eaters anymore.
Do you think we see any form of a quarterback change or some sort of controversy if they keep losing, but Kirk keeps putting up 300 yards a game, but they always lose? You think this is the season?
Are you talking it's going to be Kellen Mond time in Minnesota this year?
I've never heard that name until just now.
Oh, yeah.
He was the draft. He was the one they drafted pretty late.
Yeah, he was like second rounder, I think.
He
was like
Mond,
the end of
right?
the big six. Like there was all the top 5 guys. Mond was like the 6th guy. So he's pretty nice.
I think it's possible.
He's athletic. He's got a great arm. He kind of reminds me of Colin Kaepernick a little bit. He's a little stiff, but he's a really good player. He played a ton in college too. He threw more passes than any other quarterback that got drafted this year. So
why not?
I don't know. I think Zimmer, the one factor there is that he's been pretty pro-vax, which, you don't want to make it political, but
he's been pretty outspoken about it.
He's been pretty outspoken about it. And he's probably a little bit fed up with old Kirk, not just because of that, but because of his play over the years anyway. They drafted a quarterback to replace him. It wouldn't be that crazy if they start falling out of contention to put in Kellen Mond and just see what you got.
Could be lining up, Well, real quick, let's touch on Kirk Cousins. What was the thing he was going to practice in a bubble? What was that?
Well,
was that a meme or is there a real truth
yeah,
to
I don't know. I don't know what
I
he
just
said.
remember a Photoshop
I know he said
of him
that
being Bubble Boy, and I thought that was really funny.
The first thing he said was that, well, the key, you just don't touch anybody. Like, that doesn't work in football. And then he said he's going to get like plexiglass, I think, in the building. In the meeting room. He'd just be sitting there surrounded by plexiglass.
Being the only one, too. Just like the last one.
Well, in fairness, he's got to wait for all the information to come out. It's tough. It's a tough deal.
He'll figure it out. Once all the information comes out, once there's been proper research, maybe he'll get on board. Maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to see Kellen Mond. I'll go ahead and make a bold prediction on this pod right now. Yeah, I think it'll be Kellen Mond time, week 13.
See, I'd probably put it a little earlier than that. So as I was going through the games and I was seeing the Vikings schedule, I could see like a 1-5 start. If they go 0-6, I think there's going to be a ton of pressure. Vikings fans are very proud. And they are vocal. So I think that's going to kind of get there. And especially if Zimmer's already pissed off at him. So I could see that.
Expectations are high. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So we're all taking Cardinals.
We are all taking the Cardinals.
All right. Let me get to the next one here. We got Saints and Panthers.
Ooh.
I think that's the one I'm looking for. Here we go.
Yeah.
Saints and Panthers only at 3.5. Is that what you have it at? Yeah.
That's what I got it at. No.
That seems like a pretty small spread for a team that just whooped the Packers' ass,
Yeah, I just checked it again to make sure I wasn't wrong. And yeah, it is. The over-under 44.5 too. I guess that's just based off of probably mostly the Panthers only scoring 19 against the Jets. But I don't know. What do you think, Tom? What do you got?
I could see the over for sure. I think there could be some Sam Darnold getting used to his guys. I think Robbie Anderson might have a good game. That guy's always got a chance to get a touchdown. You got the best offensive player in the league, Christian McCaffrey. I guess the question just is the Saints defense really good, and that's why the Packers sucked, or were the Packers so out of whack that a team like the Panthers could actually put up some points, Because if you believe the Saints
it's a good
really
defense.
I think it's a pretty good defense. So, but 44 seems a little low still.
I think the Saints got 38 by themselves. I think it's going to be, I think the spread feels pretty safe. So I'm smashing it right now live.
There we go. What do you got?
I'm going to parlay. I'll do a -3.5 spread for the Saints, and I'll smash the over. And I'll throw 50 bones on that.
I like it, dude. Yeah, I definitely feel the over. I was trying to talk myself into the Panthers somehow making a miraculous win here. I just don't.
Because you wanted to do the growl?
Yeah, because I wanted to hear the growl.
You wanted to hear the growl?
Yeah. I can't do the growl as good as you, but I can try. See, that's all I got. I just can't not. I have to go to the Saints. I have to pick the Saints here. I assume
it would be pretty ballsy to pick the Panthers in this one. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, we haven't even. We'll hit it at the end, but we haven't even gone over the standings right now of our pick'ems from last week.
Yeah, right now it's kind of a ride together, die together for this week.
I know
so far.
Yeah, we haven't.
So
Colby picked Seahawks. That's the one difference. John picked Cowboys. That's about it so far.
Yeah, Colby was trying to be bold. I think that was the difference between this episode last week. Is that Colby would just be like, "Fuck it, I'll take the other team."
Exactly. I want to be different. I want to give it a shot.
He started off really hot and he fell down to my level. So we're tied now.
Hey, there you go. I was trying to
just so you all know, we are keeping. Oh, you're trying to get the graphic.
I was trying to get the graphic.
Are you going to be able to?
I'm not going to be able to get it up this time. So go ahead. Yeah, if you want to read it out real quick, we can take this.
Yeah.
I'll get the next thing.
So, yeah, we're going to be keeping track of this all week, all season, just to see who's doing it best, who's the best at guessing out of their ass. So far, Tom is 11-5. That's a pretty good week of pick'ems.
It's a great
and
week.
Colby and I are tied at 8-8. Johnny Boy was on assignment last week, so we didn't get his picks in, but we did this week, and we're just going to go by winning percentage. Mm-hmm. So just keep that in mind.
It was that Bengals pick, man. That was the one that got me over the hump there. There's a couple other ones.
Overtime thriller.
Overtime thriller. Joe Burrow, dude. Bringing him to the promised land. All right, well, we've got the number 1 rated offense going into Cleveland this week. The Texans are going to Cleveland. Pretty aggressive spread here, 12.5 for the Browns. Over under 48. I don't know. What are you feeling here, Matt? What's your take on this? I think it's
so in a
right.
pick'em. In a pick'em, I'm definitely taking Cleveland, but it is so hard to take a spread like that. And the Texans just put up 37 points.
Yeah.
Granted, it was against maybe the worst team in the NFL, probably what's going to be the worst team in the NFL.
Sounds about right.
But our boy Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod, dude. As long as you keep him away for some needles to the chest, as long as you keep the crazy medical doctors away from him, keep him out of L.A. as a whole, and I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, this could be the Tyrod Taylor revenge game that he's always wanted.
I know. He
was the incumbent when Baker got drafted.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he was on Browns Hard Knocks.
That was a good season.
Like, how does it feel to know that this is not long for you? It's like
not meant to be.
Yeah. How do you feel?
I could see this getting a lot more interesting than the spread or the over-under says. So I still got to go Browns. I think there's no way a team that's that good is going to lose the Texans. But wouldn't it be a shocker if the Texans could pull this one off?
I don't hate taking the spread for the Texans at 12.5.
Yeah, no, I would hammer that for sure. That one.
And in fact, I will hammer that.
Exactly. Telling you, we didn't even need the chat to do it. You're just hammering all the bets. All the bets.
Make things a little bit interesting.
Yeah. Why not? It's gonna be a fun Sunday for you.
Or not at all.
I'm putting yeah. Once again,
it could be a huge bummer. It just moved to 13 when I placed that. So
it got even wider.
Liking it even better.
That's a pretty big gap there, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah, if we're going by the gap scale, that's
exactly. No, my favorite.
That's it. Your dad could run through that gap.
I think 3 dads could. My favorite quote from you is, "I love paying money for a swift kick in the dick," and I just think about that every time. Any money I'm paying for fantasy, any gambling, oh man, just paying to get a swift kick in the dick. All right, so I put us all at Browns there. I think that's a safe
This sport is for masochists for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to hate yourself a little bit to do some sports gambling. Okay. So yeah, we're all Browns on that one. That checks out. Now we're going to find Bengals and Bears. Let me find that graphic. There we go. Bengals and Bears currently at -2 for the Bears. That line has moved since I took this picture here. Why don't you start us off with this one, Matt?
Well, the other boys took the Bengals, so I'll go ahead and take the Bears.
I'm going to take the Bears too. Yeah,
I like how they mixed in Justin Fields, although I think it's kind of stupid. It's like, just fucking start him. Like,
did you watch that Matt Nagy press conference? He said some weird shit that
I didn't.
It was just something about like, we're going to keep putting him in a position to help the team, help the team win, But in reality, it's like the best position for him to be in is the starting fucking quarterback. So
right. And Andy Dalton's not very good.
Yeah. We saw it again.
Granted, it's a little bit different in San Francisco. Like, Jimmy Garoppolo played well on Sunday.
Yep.
But Andy Dalton is not very good. And you see the things that Fields does, you're like, just play him. Write it out.
I think, yeah. I would hope that the change is coming sooner rather than later. I think we talked about this on the pod too, just about that Nagy wanted Andy Dalton to lose against the Rams. That was part of the plan. But now we're into the season, so it's just kind of like we're on the watch here, seeing when it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm confused now because that was my thought. Like, they don't want Justin Fields' first start to be on Sunday Night Football against one of the best teams in the NFL. That's fair. But now they're playing the Bengals at home.
Great game for him to start.
It'd be a great game. It's confusing. Come on, Matt Nagy.
Do you think it's all based on this promise that he made to Andy Dalton? Do you think he's really hanging on that?
The thing in San Francisco is that the locker room really likes Jimmy Garoppolo and they're behind him. And a lot of them have gone to a Super Bowl with them. Like, what allegiance does that locker room have to Andy Dalton? He's new to Chicago. They drafted just a through the roof talent who's showing flashes already. I doubt anybody in there's like, I'm sick of hearing this Justin Fields thing. Like, Andy's my guy.
Andy's the guy, man. He's put in a lot of work with us, I think the locker room may not have a lot of faith in Nagy as a whole. I get worried about his control of the entire situation. So that's why I'd expect them to start.
You think he's coaching for his life. We've talked about this. And I don't see why you don't just put in the kid.
You know, this could it's your last season ever potentially. You know, like
they've got some nice pieces too. They got Robinson, they've got Darnell Mooney, they got Cole Kmet, young tight end to pair with Jimmy Graham. They got a good running back in David Montgomery. Tariq Cohen is eventually going to come off the PUP list and probably help out. Like they've got a lot of weapons.
Talk about their defense too. Like it's got some talented players on it. Yeah, I think if they lose to the Bengals, it could be the following week that we see Justin Fields.
Do you think he's trying to let it organically play out and like maybe Andy will get a little bit hurt on one of these sacks and then I'm not the bad guy and Justin Fields comes in and balls out and it all takes care of itself?
I think that's his dream, you know, that someone's going to be able to take the decision making out of his hands because, you know, even though a head coach in the NFL, your job is to make decisions. He doesn't want to make that decision, you know. I don't know. I would assume he is waiting to have the heat on him be so high that he has to make a move and wait to react to everyone being upset rather than trying to be proactive,
right?
Which is dumb.
Or maybe he's just being a bald white guy.
Yep,
too proud. Do you think because they don't have hair, they get extra like I don't know what comes from cell towers, but their brains kind of scrambled from that.
When you're bald though, things you can't get as angry. It's not as hot. Your head isn't hot. You know, you think you'd always be cool up there. You'd be cool-headed with no hair. But obviously, Matt Nagy is proving that wrong.
They seem like the biggest red asses is the bald white guy. They're always like the most pissed off. Even like in tech where I've worked, it's always the bald white VP who's just like the hardo.
Does he have miserable black framed glasses too? Black framed glasses with a bald head?
Only he doesn't wear them all the time, but yeah.
He's got those. Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like he won't wear them at an all hands meeting, but when you walk into his office, he'll look up at you. He's got them on for sure.
Yeah. One of those bald guys, does he carry around a rag when he gets too hot? You know,
just hold on the hanky. Yeah,
man, yeah.
You got to have one. You don't want that dripping into your eyes.
Yeah, my father's very bald, and he's had that for a long time. So, mad respect. Bald people aren't bad people. Let me just clear that up. Bald is beautiful.
JJS3 says Bengals taking that. All right.
See,
he's riding with half the crew.
Yeah,
I like actually, the Bengals.
Yeah, I like Joe Burrow a lot, so I'm rooting for him this year for sure.
And we all know Joe Mixon is just ultimate character guy and teammate. So
he's your guy, dude. He's a character
guy. That's my guy.
That's my guy. All right, moving on here. We're gonna get to Raiders and Steelers. I'm working on the graphic part 'cause I keep forgetting to do it. Here we go. All right, we've got Steelers -6. This is in Pittsburgh. Over under 47. That seems, I guess, a little low. I could see it going a lot more, especially after the Raiders' explosion of offense that we saw on Monday night. But,
I mean, Derek Carr is the NFL's leading passer.
Got to throw some respect on his name, okay? Yeah,
I guess.
Young Lunk in the chat. Here we go. You came at the right time.
Here we go.
Yeah, I just don't. I see the Raiders being able to score. I think they have a lot of confidence coming out of that Monday night game, and I know the Steelers have the best defense potentially in the entire league. But I can see the Raiders pulling out some points here. I don't think they're going to get just shut out, and the offense that we saw is just gone next week. Because the Ravens are a good defense too.
Yeah, that's true. I wasn't impressed with the Steelers, really, as far as their offense goes. Their defense is great. This is a really tough one, and this is not scientifically backed. I'm just going to go with the I believe kind of route and go with the Raiders.
Ooh, going with the Raiders?
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see the Raiders be a little bit nice this year.
All for the record, John and Colby both took the Steelers. So, Drew, there you go. If you want to text them and tell them they're bad friends, feel free.
I kind of like the spread, too. So, I'll go ahead and place a live bet on that.
Oh. Young Lunk in the chat. He is on his way home. He came home from work and he sensed that we were talking about the Raiders. His Spidey sense went off. His Raider sense went off.
Yeah, that's right.
He logged in just to join in the conversation. So, welcome, Drew. Thank you.
I'll take the Raiders +6. I'm going to smash the under, though.
Smashing the under.
Smashing the under. Little parlay. Just to wet the whistle, you know?
God, after I said all those nice things about Drew, I think I'm taking the Steelers, though, dude. Matt, this could be one for you. This could be a good leg up for you. But I just don't see it. I think the Steelers are going to figure it out. It's gonna be a good game.
I'm glad you guys are doing this. Could be the one where I separate a little bit.
There you go. See,
not separate, but just move up.
Move up one spot. Could be the guy. Man, if the Raiders beat the Steelers too, after going through the Ravens and the Steelers in the first 2 weeks, that would be quite a first couple of games for John Gruden and company. You got anything else on that one, Matt, or should we move along? We're kind of jamming.
I think, I mean, we're moving quick, but
we're doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing else on that one. I didn't see much of the Steelers game last time, but I kind of liked what I saw from the Raiders. I like Derek Carr taking some chances, throwing the ball downfield. He looked good.
I'm excited. Maybe a good year for the Raiders. All right, we've got next Rams in Indianapolis. The Rams are favored 3.5. The over/under is currently set at 48. John's got Rams. Colby's got Colts. Oh, got a little exciting. Got a little dissension.
Coltsby?
Coltsby? Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it's good. Big Coltsby guy. The great Coltsby. Well, let's see. I don't know. I feel like the Rams are supposed to smash. That's why I'm surprised that the spread is the way it is here. I would expect it to be a little bit wider. I want to believe I still believe Frank Reich and the Colts have a good offense. I think it was kind of more of an anomaly what we saw, or a very good performance from the Seahawks. But the Rams defense is really good. The Rams offense is really good. The Rams special teams is really good. And Carson Wentz does not give me a lot of confidence for obvious reasons. So I'm taking Rams.
Personal reasons and
personals and
it's also a fair and professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, very much so.
What do you got?
Yeah, I agree. I think the spread is pretty insane.
Yeah,
that it's only minus 3.5. I mean, the Seahawks really kicked the shit out of the Colts, and the Rams looked exactly how they're supposed to look on Sunday Night Football, and they look very dangerous with Stafford, which is alarming. Like I could easily see the Rams being the 1 seed in the NFC
after week 1.
Yeah, I can't bet against them on this one, dude.
No way.
Even if it is in Indy, it's not like it's not it's not Quest Field or South or anything like that. So
Jim Irsay is like Phantom of the Opera up there, fucking deciding whether to open the roof or not,
It's just railing Percocets. Opening and closing the window.
Exactly.
Yeah.
See the stadium halfway open and then close again. It's like, dude,
it's fucking on here. Open it up.
He's like sweating. He's
sweating profusely.
So we can turn on the air conditioning. No, open the whole roof.
Open the fucking roof. Oh man, that's funny. Yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
gotcha in there.
I feel pretty good about that spread too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna save Niners Eagles for second to last, if you don't mind, Matt. Even though it's next on the list here.
Yeah,
because that one will have a lot to say. So,
I have a question before we move on.
Yeah, of course.
How there's always the week 1 overreaction, so we don't really know anything yet about any of these teams. Like we can guess and kind of infer what we think we know based off of that, but there could also be some serious week 2 wonkiness, or like we were talking about with the Titans. Like they could all of a sudden go to overtime with Seattle or beat Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I know we've already gone through some of these games, so I don't want to backtrack too much. Mm-hmm. But which of these, just off at the top of your head, could you see being the biggest overcorrection, or, oh shit, based off of week 1, I didn't realize that's how that game was going to go?
I'd probably go, just a quick thought here, I'd probably go with Cardinals. I think the Cardinals, everyone's going to be picking them as like this after they whoop that ass so solidly. I think they're going to be really high up in all the rankings. Kyler's going to be an MVP conversation. And I think I just don't have any confidence in their coaching. So I don't see the Cardinals being as good as I think we're all seeing after week 1. Probably my second one would be just that, obviously, that the Packers aren't that good. I think the Packers are going to be great. So yeah. You got any specifically, though, on think a little too much overreaction?
Those are the two. I think the one that I'm maybe interested in seeing is like both teams. Who are they actually? Is the Bills and Dolphins, because we expected the Bills to be probably at least one of the 2 or 3 best teams in the AFC, and they didn't really look like it against the Steelers. The Steelers also have a great defense, so it's hard to say. Like, I'm not going to say Josh Allen is reverting back to year 1 Josh Allen, but
no way.
I'm interested most to see. I kind of getting away from my own question here, but I want to see
put up the thing.
who is for real between those two. Like, what are those teams actually like? What's their identity? Bengals are another one where I'm like, are they actually good, or
can they make
I
a
don't know.
run? But if you have Joe, like if you're a Bengals fan and you've got Joe Burrow leading your team, don't you just kind of feel confident that you could, whatever weird games happen, whatever stuff happens, like that guy could win you the game, like regardless of how bad the coaching is in Cincinnati, Joe Burrow can be the guy.
Yeah, and he's not the most like physically gifted guy, but I mean, when you watch him that whole magical run at LSU, he's just got, as lame as it sounds, he has that it factor. He's got that playmaking ability. He can get out of the pocket a little bit and throw on the run.
He's a winner.
He's a fucking winner.
He's
a gritty guy.
Gritty guy.
He's gritty.
John Gruden loves that guy, dude.
Well, I would love to see Joe Burrow make playoffs this year. That'd be amazing. Comeback player of the year this year, Joe Burrow.
I think that's another awesome thing about this NFL season is just all the young quarterbacks getting their own teams with young talent around them, with teams building around them. I just feel like the old guard is shifting, and this season a great example of kind of all those things kind of happening at once. So it could be a huge shakeup of who's going to be in the playoffs. Fun times. I put up the graphic already, but Bills in Miami favored by 3.5, over under at 47.5. I believe, and John and Colby also believe, I think the Bills are a really good football team. I think that was more of an anomaly and a great defense that they were going against, and a little bit of first game jitters. I think the Bills have been built up a lot in this entire offseason. People telling Josh Allen he's an MVP candidate before he even had one snap, for the season. So I think they kind of come back to where we all thought they would be, and I think they go out and get the win against Miami. I think I'm going Bills there.
The Bills are going to experience a double whammy in Miami. I think the Miami Dolphins are going to take this game.
Really? Wow.
I think the Bills.
Why?
I'm just this totally out of my asshole.
Yeah,
but
okay, good.
I think that
the
Bills are going to start off 0-2. All right, you always see those day games in Miami where it's just everything seems like it's slower. I don't know why, but I think the Bills are going to course correct after this week. But I think they're going to have another struggle this week. I think Tua is going to control the offense. Just be nice and efficient. Nothing too sexy. Jalen Waddle's going to get his first tutty.
Fuller's back. Do you think he gets?
Fuller's back.
You think Fuller gets in the end zone?
He could.
He's going to get thrown
his first
three
game back
times, and one of them is going to be a touchdown, and he'll be a top.
As long as he doesn't get hurt first. Yeah.
Exactly.
For whatever stretch that he's on the field. Right. Yeah. Whatever stretch he's on the field, he'll be like a top 15 wide receiver. Whether that's for 3 minutes or 13 games, we'll see.
Yep, exactly.
I'll take the Dolphins.
Taking the Dolphins. Hey, I like that.
Yeah.
You're picking up a couple here. Interesting. All right.
But the spread, Vegas thinks it's going to be a close game too. It's only 3.5.
I think there's a lot of confidence in the Dolphins as a whole. Like they were definitely also one of those teams that we said is supposed to be a good team going into this year. But we shall see. Next, we're rolling to Broncos in Jacksonville. Broncos are a 6-point favorite, and that feels right. It feels a little low even. And over under 45. Basically, the question I'm going to ask you, Matt, is how bad are the Jags?
It seems like they're an absolute train wreck.
Real bad. Yeah.
Well, John alerted us to this, and I looked into it a little bit. It does sound like Urban Meyer is already not in favor in the front office, in the locker room, or anything like that. Maybe he's going to try and tuck his tail back between his legs and just go to USC as fast as he can.
He did get asked that question, and he said, I'm committed to the Jags. I'm not going to be the USC head coach.
What else is he going to say?
Yeah, that guy's lied more times in a press conference than anybody. More than a politician, dude. Yeah.
Exactly. Dude, I think they're a train wreck. It's unfortunate. And I think, even without Jerry Jeudy, the Broncos still got some weapons. I could see them. That the spread almost seems generous for the Jags.
Yeah, absolutely. What do we got? This is a big Melvin Gordon game. This is a big Tim Patrick game for the Broncos. Teddy Two Gloves going to throw a couple tutties and just very quietly win the game.
Who's the rookie running back they got?
Steve. It's with an S. I thought it's like Steve and something.
It's
what do you got?
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams. I'm way off.
Yep. So this could be the breakout game for him. I think they're going to run all over this team.
And that Vic Fangio would love to just run the ball the whole game. He especially if they're winning, if they go up early, it's just going to be hammering that ball. And I don't know if the Jags can do anything about it.
Cortland Sutton game.
Big Cortland Sutton game.
Or Tim Patrick.
Yep. I like
Tim Patrick's the hot ad.
Yeah. I want to point out here we do have a little bit of dissension in the ranks. John has the Jags upsetting the Broncos at home. Wow.
I like it.
No, someone's got to believe in them, right?
Someone's got to go bold.
Yeah. Gotta make some ground up here.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, dude. I got a couple shares in LaVisca Chenault. I wouldn't mind.
Too. I like Chenault.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a lot of garbage time. So
they're just one of those teams where every single player that's nice on their team, you wish they were on a different team.
Exactly.
Like, oh, Chenault would be so sweet in Kansas City or something like that, you know?
Trevor Lawrence in a good situation. Could you imagine if he had a good head coach?
It's honestly one of those franchises, and this probably isn't fair, but it's because of everything about them, from their jerseys, their color scheme. You just can't ever picture I was going to say Deshaun Watson. Maybe that's not the right call, but like a Patrick Mahomes or a Justin Herbert being in Jacksonville.
Who was the quarterback when it was Blake Bortles. That was the last time they were in the playoffs. And then what was the guy?
They made it to the AFC Championship.
Yeah,
with Blake
they had
Bortles
a great team that
because they had a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ramsey was on there. Who was the guy back when we were kids too? It was like Gerard. Who was the quarterback?
David Garrard.
Yeah, they had a little run back then.
And who's the running back? Byron Leftwich was also one of their guys too.
Mm-hmm.
They had MJD for a while. He was actually one of the most amazing stories because he was always on a very, very bad team and was still one of the NFL's leading rushers, even though they were always behind.
That's the most Jacksonville thing I've ever heard, though. You know, like classic. They have one good player and their team's awful. Yeah. And I guess,
and then they had Mercedes Lewis, who's probably still floating around the league somewhere. It's like 42 years old.
I think he's on. I feel like I saw him on.
I think he's legit still in the league.
He was on. Somebody got hurt, and I saw him come in. I thought I think it was the Packers game. I don't know. I'm probably wrong.
I think he's on the Packers.
You think is that right? I remember seeing his old ass running back on the field. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, he's on the Packers. He's 37 years old.
Nailed it. 37 years old. Damn. We're all talking about Tom Brady. All right.
Tom Brady don't have shit.
Don't got shit on
Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis. Exactly. Who's the real fan favorite here, you know? All right. We're going to move away from what is probably going to be a not very fun game to watch. And we're going to go to MetLife Stadium. Patriots are going to the Jets. The Patriots are 6-point favorite right now, over under 43. I could see the over here potentially. I guess they're all the young quarterbacks, so you'd want to hammer the under. You know what? This is going to be my one. I'm taking the Jets to win.
Let's go, baby.
This is my one.
I'm taking the Jets too.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
I think this will be like that early season Robert Saleh signature victory over Bill Belichick. And honestly, like Zach Wilson looked a little shaky in the first half, but there's no denying the way that the ball comes out of his hand that he is pretty fucking sweet and talented.
Yep.
Like there's a little bit of Rodgers there, just the way that he whips it on the run.
And just like any of these younger quarterbacks, we feel that every game they'll probably improve a little bit, you know?
Yep.
And I feel like those first 3 quarters we saw from Zach Wilson in that week 1 game you could see him even, you know, in front of your eyes improving, you know? And then he's kind of starting to figure all these things out. So I could see. And the Patriots always play rookie quarterbacks extremely well. So I'm not going to be surprised there's a couple interceptions thrown here. But I don't know. Robert Saleh, Jets defense. No one thinks they can win. Underdogs, absolutely. I like it, dude.
I'd like to see it, yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go. You know, I still don't know what to make of this Patriots team. They do have a good amount of talent, but it's not crazy. You know, like Jacoby Myers is nice, but it's not like outlandish. They have Aguilar, they have Kendrick Bourne, they got a good stable of running backs, they got a rookie quarterback that's
tight ends. They got those free agent
it's all just so Patriots. It's solid, but it's not sexy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bill Belichick.
So, but I still don't know what to make of their team as far as how far they could go. Are they actually a playoff team?
Patriots
I would love
win.
to see this.
I would say the Patriots should win this game.
They should.
You know, if they don't, and that's on them. All right, let's hit the big one here, Matt. I would play some intros, but we don't need to do that. We don't need to have squawk talk right now. Let's just get into the game.
It's all jovial up until now, but
now
not gonna get my horns are coming out now, baby.
All right, Matt. So I've been making this roast because it's about the best one I can do this whole week. But like once again, is Kittle working on hands drills?
Okay.
That's all I got.
Like I said, that was a tough kick. That was a
good
great kick.
It was a good
but
kick.
It does, you're expected to catch those, and it kind of makes you look like an idiot when it hits you in the face and goes off, and then they recover.
Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Yeah, not loving that one.
No, I'm legit nervous for this game.
It's interesting how the national media is actually kind of giving respect to this game all of a sudden. Like, they're seeing this as a big matchup, and if you think the Niners are going to win their division, you think the Eagles are going to win the division, then this is a very early potential playoff matchup right away.
I agree. I don't know why the national perspective on the Eagles was that they were going to be trash, because
Nick Sirianni is my guess. That's my assumption.
That's probably it.
I think
Jalen Reagor was already being written off as a bust.
Yeah,
so they're like, all right, they whiffed on that one, so now Devontae Smith has to be the guy. Now Jalen Reagor does not have to be the guy. He's clearly very talented, and they've gone from within a couple years the slowest team in the NFL to a very fast and explosive team.
Super young, super fast, all the upside in the world. All these guys that you see, you know what they're going to bring every day, but all of them, all their young offensive players, the ceiling is crazy. What they can pull off, what the potential is crazy high. So whether they can,
and they're very good on both lines. And if you're good on your offensive line and your defensive line, that's a pretty good building block for a team in the NFL. The only thing that's I feel like they have a window right now for the young guys to catch up before the old guys on the lines fall off.
Right.
Because it seems like their best players are a little older, but they have a ton of really, really good young skill position players.
Kelsey looks great, and he's not getting any younger anytime soon. Lane Johnson ain't getting any younger anytime soon.
Brandon Graham,
Fletcher Cox,
yeah.
They did restructure Fletcher Cox's deal yesterday, and they added a bunch of cap space. Eagles all of a sudden have the third most cap space available, too, so that's exciting. Might be able to actually re-sign Goddard or some of the other guys, a bunch of those one-year deal cornerbacks they got. What do you think, though? What's the position group, if we can deep dive this, what's the position group? If you feel the Niners are going to win, what position group has to perform extremely well?
The D-line. For sure.
Totally.
And especially the interior D-line, because Jamal Williams and DeAndre Swift ran all over the Niners last game. I don't know if Javon Kinlaw is going to play.
Yeah, what's the injury report? I know you sent that out earlier, but he's out?
He was limited in practice. So we'll see. He's basically got an arthritic knee, and they don't want to talk about it, but I think he has arthritis in his knee.
Because it sounds real bad.
Yeah. And it is. They took him like 15th overall. But the problem, if the D-line doesn't perform, then you're already down Jason Verrett. You're depending on guys like Emmanuel Mosley and Dante Johnson.
Josh Norman, right?
Rookies. We'll see if Norman and Drake Patrick get in the mix. But I think the D-line is definitely where they're going to win and lose this game, win or lose.
And Eagles are very healthy on their offensive line. Kind of coming out of that first game pretty unscathed, knock on wood, which is not a very Eagles thing.
So is that the group that you're picking?
No, so I think it's all about the secondary for the Eagles, because it's always been such a question mark over the last couple years if they can keep a good secondary together. So they've got Nelson. They've got a couple of guys that they signed on one-year deals, some veterans, pairing that with Darius Slay, who we traded for a couple years ago, who just is still a monster. And I could see if the Eagles win, I would feel they need to get a couple of interceptions off Jimmy G. I think they need to pick that guy off a couple times for the Eagles to turn the momentum and get it going the right way. I'm excited for both offenses to just see how they do against both very talented defenses. But I think the secondary is my position. If the Eagles are going to win, it's going to come from those guys.
Okay, then what is the player or the thing that you're most afraid of that would maybe keep, like, mine, for example, is just not being able to contain Jalen Hurts. Because if he can break outside contain, I know he's not a sprinter, but he's still tough to contain.
Do you see the head coach of the Falcons was like, yeah, every defense we called, there was a spy on Jalen Hurts. And everyone's like, didn't feel like it. It didn't look like it,
right?
But he's just that talented. I think, Jalen Hurts obviously is the biggest guy for us. So Singleton is the last name of our starting middle linebacker for the Eagles. And from all the stuff I understand about the 49ers offense is they're all about misdirection, kind of showing you one thing, showing you this, showing you that. And Singleton's really good. He led our team in tackles last year, but he's still not the oldest guy, the most veteran guy. So whenever you play the Niners, you got to get worried about your defensive players getting a little tricked and kind of giving up big plays without even knowing it. So that would be
that's the biggest thing. Shanahan's offense is all about putting defensive players in conflict. They'll make it look like it's like ISO lead weak or something like that. They'll think that it's a run. All of a sudden it's a pass. And now they're not sure what to do. Like, am I going to go man? Am I going to abandon my zone? And that's just what he preys on defensive players that way. So that I would be afraid of that
and
too.
The linebacking core be able to recover when they think it's a pass play and it's actually a run play going way one way or vice versa. So I'm assuming, because I have all this crazy confidence in the coaching staff of the Eagles all of a sudden, I assume they are very aware of that and they're going to prepare them very well for it. But it's still, Shanahan can pull out a new thing every game. He's got just a whole bunch of plays, I assume, that he has just never tried out in an actual NFL game. So you can only really prepare so much for an offense like the Niners have.
Yeah, the Niners really struggle with mobile quarterbacks. Even when Jared Goff would do play action boot, like in 2019, they shut him down the whole first time they played. The second time, McVay ran a ton of play action boot with Jared Goff, and they just could not get to him before he threw. And they struggled with Kyler. Obviously, Jalen isn't Kyler, but he's still plenty fast to get outside the pocket. And then if he's outside of the pocket and the speed that the receivers have, I don't trust the corners to be able to hold those guys down. So I think it's going to be a pretty close game. This is one thing. I feel like Jalen kind of gives me Russell Wilson vibes more than Kyler vibes. Yeah.
I just feel the confidence in like not making the flashy play, not trying, like he'll take the sack if he has to. He'll slide if he has to. It's just kind of, I just feel great.
He's thick.
Yeah, he's a little thick,
He's like a 600-pound squatter.
That's impressive. He's got some thighs.
Jalen is
always got some
strong. I think he was a power lifter in high school. So I remember seeing in college him doing squats. They're like, yeah, he was like an Olympic style power lifter. He's a thick boy.
Strong boy.
Yeah.
Lead a strong team. And I just want to say the Philadelphia fans are going to be frothing at the fucking mouth. They had no hope, and now they've got tons of hope, and they're going against a great team. So we're going to talk the chat here real quick. Uh-oh. Did I lose you, Matt? Oh, yeah. He's frozen. Oh, he's back? No, you're still frozen, Matt. Oh, there you go. I think you're back.
I'm frozen.
All right.
It's pretty bad if I freeze and it's just me on the show, huh?
Exactly.
It's a little worse.
If you're by yourself. Yeah, that would be rough. Just put some filler stuff in there, Real quick, Young Lunk, this shirt is not inside out. That is how it is designed. This is fashion. Look it up.
It's called fashion, sweetie.
It's called fashion. It's called hot lips. I would have said another thing, but I shouldn't on Twitch, so I won't.
Yeah, no worries.
Enlightened Ninja, what up, boy? How's it going? Welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Is Enlightened Ninja going to get a big win this week? Maybe. Go against all the odds? Who knows? Thanks. It just says thanks. So I think we should pick some points in this too. What do you think? What's the final score is going to be? This is a big game for us, so why not?
The final score.
Final score is going to be.
I've got like a 34-28 Niners.
34-28 Niners?
Yep.
I just see it. If the Eagles are going to win, it's got to be a lower scoring game. It's going to be a very vanilla pick, but I'm going to go 28-21 Eagles.
All right.
Even though I could see these two teams, there's going to be some weird scoring bullshit that happens. I just know
I'm interested to see
if
Kyle whips out the Trey Lance a little bit more than he did in Detroit.
I think whenever you're at goal line, if I'm the Eagles defensive coordinator, I'm prepping for any time we're in the goal line, you got to look for Trey. Trey's coming in. But again,
it'll be interesting when there's like a 2nd and 15, a 3rd and 12. Is that when you put Trey in too? I want to see him get a little bit more action than a couple of design runs.
I think we can see it. I think it's possible. It's all part of Kyle. Kyle's got a plan. So I hope Eagles are prepping for that guy, because that guy's pretty fucking good.
They are.
All right. So I think we can easily say that all the Niners fans are taking the Niners, and the one Eagles fan is taking the Eagles. I won't be placing any bets though. Yeah,
Not comfortable
dicey.
with it.
Yeah, dicey, dude. What was your score? Final score pick?
I had 34-28.
28. Cool. All right, it's going to be exciting. That is 10 a.m. in Philadelphia. I'm sure we're all going to be chatting up that one. All right, it is 5:02. Kickoff is in 15 minutes here. All the players are on the field, it looks like, in Washington. Let's get a quick weather update. I'm going to hit refresh. It's still raining? It doesn't look like it's raining.
I'm down here on the field.
Give us what's it looking like down there, Matt? Can you give us
it looks pretty dry. Players are dry. I don't even see any water droplets on their helmets.
No one's wet? No one's wet out there?
No one looks wet yet. We'll see.
Good. No one's like
Some
moist.
of the pads on the field are a little bit wet.
Ooh.
It looks like it could be a little bit slippery, but it's nothing to worry about. I actually talked to Ron Rivera. He said we're not going to think about it. We're just going to play our game. Back to you, Tom.
Thank you, Matt. That was Matt on the field. Getting some great insight from Ron himself. Yeah, it looks like the rain forecast is it's slowing down here. So maybe it's just gonna be a little wet out there. Maybe not a full mud bowl. Maybe the over isn't terrible.
Chase Young's gonna get a sack tonight. He's gonna get 2 sacks.
Absolutely. So I put Chase Young sacks at 2. I don't want to get too aggressive after my 7 sacks that I thought the Eagles were gonna get. I'm gonna calm it down a little bit. But yeah, Chase Young getting 2. I think Washington football team defense gets 4 at least. I think the Giants are terrible. I am squatting on that pick. I think they're really bad. Joe Judge is going to do some weird shit again. That's we're all on Joe Judge watch tonight. He's on national TV. I'm pretty excited to see what terrible decisions he makes again.
It's Judgment Day, baby.
Judgment Day. Always Judgment Day. So besides that, obviously we're talking about earlier in the pod, Heineke is starting. Fitzmagic is going to be out for, I think I saw he elected to go with therapy instead of surgery. So it's a ballpark of 8 weeks that he will be out.
I'm glad that he's working on his mental, but is he going to be like rehabbing too?
Yeah, exactly. He's getting therapy. He's
going to go to therapy about it.
It's all up here.
It's like Christian therapy. It's like through the power of Christ, I can heal this.
I think that's in his contract. That's the only doctor that can see him. So
I think so. Yeah,
has to be. I'm excited to watch Heineke. I think there's a chance that guy could be the guy. And I think Fitz, just like we talked about in the last pod, but they just wanted to get another name in there. But
I saw a stat that this is Terry McLaurin's 10th different starting quarterback that he's worked with in like 30 games. And I just tweeted, Larry Fitzgerald has entered the chat because nobody has had more than he did. I mean, he was getting balls from like Drew Stanton, John Skelton, all sorts of weirdos. So
he just kept smiling and hitting the field,
But Terry McLaurin is one of those guys for sure that I would love to see get a consistent good quarterback because the sky's the limit for him. He's already great as it is.
Did you watch that highlight?
Yeah,
so ridiculous, just completely twisting his body around. God, and Gibson too.
Never forget that the Niners drafted Jalen Hurd ahead of Terry McLaurin in the 3rd.
Never forget.
Yikes.
That guy
you can always play a game of what ifs, but that's one of the recent ones that really hurts.
And that was the current regime of the Niners too, right? You can't blame that on the past regime. Yeah, there you go.
Nope, that was 2019.
Own it. I'm gonna go Washington football team. I'm just gonna get out there and say it here. We got John and Colby also taking the Washington football team.
I'm also taking the Washington football team, and I already smashed the under, even though it's 40.5.
It's wet.
Let's see if that comes back to bite me.
You never know.
It's wet
out there. Real quick for all 7 viewers, what I was going to say is, anyone got any great ideas of what they should name the Washington football team besides the Washington football team? There's like a
What do you think, Tom?
There was like the one, it was like the red... It's like the Red Rockets or something, or what was it?
Oh, the Red Tails?
The Red Tails. I
liked the Red Tails too.
Yeah. It's like a fighter pilot group from the World War II era.
It was like the first, I think it was like the first all black fighter pilot team from World War II or something like that.
There's a Peter Jackson movie that I didn't watch that he made about it. So
yeah, that would be sweet.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I think the whole idea of the Senators or the Generals or like all these generic, it's Washington D.C. teams are kind of lame. But
what did Cleveland do? The Guardians?
The Guardians.
I thought they should have done the Steamers, but
the Cleveland Steamers.
Yeah, but
there's a lot of steam engines in Cleveland. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. Teach their own, though.
Exactly. No, I don't know. What was the team in one of my all-time favorite football movies, The Replacements? They were the Washington Sentinels, I think, though.
They were the Sentinels,
They were
yes.
the Sentinels.
Yep.
And
Light
so
Ninja says the Orcs.
The Orcs, there we go. Of course you'd say that, Jordan. Appreciate it. Go back to the Shire. But I would love if they just became the Sentinels and are exactly the team from The Replacements. I know I said
that'd be sweet
a second ago, but I want some Falco jerseys.
What was the other Keanu Reeves team that he coached? Hardball?
Oh.
The Cucumbas.
The Cucumbas.
The Cucumbas, yeah.
That just had Hardball.
That's
had
a weird
20th anniversary.
Weird name.
Yeah.
That's a good movie, though.
Yeah, rest in peace, that one kid. Yikes.
G baby.
R.I.P.,
baby.
R.I.P., man.
That was tough. That's still a tough watch. I watched that movie a few years back. Rough.
Meaningful, though. Powerful stuff.
But that's exactly
Underrated.
why you don't get too far into sports betting. Because that's why he had to go through this whole shenanigans of coaching this team.
I like how you say that as you've made like 6 bets in the last hour while we're sitting here.
Yeah.
Matt's going to be coaching youth baseball in 3 weeks.
My bookie's going to come for my kneecaps, dude.
Exactly. At least you'll be able to bring a ragtag group of Salt Lake City kids, rise them up.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I'm already excited for this movie, dude. This is going to be great. All right. Well, with that, that is all the games. That is week 2 preview. That is all our picks. Matt, you got anything? Any final comments for the people?
No, I don't think so. I'd say look for a good wet one, grab a cold one, and enjoy. I think it's going to be a low-scoring mud bowl.
Could be fun, though. Now that it's rainier, I'm more excited to watch. So,
and we will be back with the full crew on Tuesday. They didn't get fired or anything for anything weird. They're just on assignment.
They'll be back. Don't worry. Don't worry out there, fans of the A-Gap.
There's nothing going on.
There's nothing to worry about.
Don't ask.
Nice tone voice.
Hey, thanks, Johnny.
Yeah,
we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, he'll be
live.
See you next Tuesday. All right. With that, thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back, like we said. See you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us. Go Washington.
Go Washington football team.
Bye. Go Sentinels. Bye.
Go Sentinels.